Silence is power. People think power is being the loudest in the room, the one always talking, always letting everybody know what they got going on. But that's not real power. Real power moves in silence. Real power don't need validation. Real power don't need to be announced. You know what happens when you talk too much? You give people space to doubt you, to envy you, to plot against you. The truth is, the more you say, the more you expose. And when you expose too much too early, you lose control of the energy around your vision. I learned something. People don't need to know what's happening in your life until it's undeniable. Because when you're still in the middle of the grind, the wrong ears can put weight on your steps. Not everybody clapping for you. Not everybody happy to see you rise. Some people smile in your face, but pray behind closed doors that you never get there. That's why silence matters. It's not about fear. It's about strategy. It's about protecting what's yours until it's too solid to be touched. Everybody want to talk about their plans. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. But here's the reality. The ones who really make it, they don't talk about it. They show it. They show up with the results. They show up with the product, with the win, with the vision complete. That's how you move different. You don't announce every step. You just keep stepping until the world got to recognize where you're standing. See, when you stay silent, you keep control. You keep your vision pure. Silence keeps you from inviting negativity into something that's still growing. Think about it. A seed don't need the world's applause when it's underground. It needs protection, water, patience, and time. If you dig it up too early, it dies. That's how your goals work. They need space to grow in private before they're strong enough to live in public. People talk too much because they crave validation. They want someone to say, yeah, that's a good idea, or you're gonna make it. But let me tell you, validation don't build nothing. Approval don't pay bills. Claps don't create results. Execution does. Work does. Discipline does. Every time you talk instead of work, you draining energy that should have been invested in the grind. I've seen people fail, not because they didn't have the talent, not because they didn't have the vision, but because they told the wrong people too much. You tell someone your dream and they laugh. They doubt you. They plant seeds of fear in your mind. Next thing you know, you're second guessing yourself, moving slower, losing momentum. That's why silence is a shield. Silence is what keeps your energy clean. When you move in silence, people only see the outcome. They don't get to see the struggles, the late nights, the battles, the doubts you fought. They just see you arrive. And when you arrive, they can't deny you. They can't take credit. They can't throw dirt because you never gave them a chance. Your silence protected you. But silence don't mean you stop speaking forever. Silence is about timing. It's about knowing when to keep your mouth shut and when to let the results talk. When you build something real, when you've accomplished something solid, when the vision is undeniable, that's when you let the world see. Until then, you stay quiet and keep working. This world moves fast, and everybody wants to broadcast every step on social media, every plan, every thought. But ask yourself, what are you really gaining from that? You looking for likes, or you looking for legacy? You looking for claps, or you looking for change? There's a big difference. One disappears overnight, the other lasts forever. Legacy don't come from telling, it comes from doing. So understand this, silence is not weakness. Silence is not fear. Silence is power. It's self-control. It's discipline. It's respect for the process. And when you live by that, when you stop telling what's happening in your life, you'll notice how much lighter you feel, how much more focused you are, how much faster you move, because you're no longer carrying the weight of other people's opinions on your shoulders. Keep your head down, stay in your lane, and work. Let your silence protect your vision until the world gotta face your results. Real power don't talk, it shows. And when it shows, it don't need an introduction, it speaks for itself. Energy is everything. The way you carry yourself, the way you think, the people you let around you, that's the foundation of your life. You can have the vision, you can have the talent, you can even have the resources. But if your energy gets drained, none of it matters. Protecting your energy is one of the most important things you'll ever do, because energy is the fuel behind every move you make. If your energy's off, your whole life gonna feel off. See, the world don't always want you to win. Some people thrive on negativity. Some people feed off doubt, off drama, off chaos. And if you let them too close, they'll eat away at your spirit without you even noticing. That's why you gotta be intentional about who you give your energy to. Not everybody deserves access. Not everybody deserves your time, your space, your presence. Some people that like parasites, they don't add nothing, they just take, they drain. And if you don't protect yourself, they'll leave you empty. Protecting your energy means creating boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. It means knowing when to walk away from conversations that don't feed you. It means cutting ties with people who bring more stress than peace. It means choosing environments that help you grow instead of holding you back. You can't rise if you're surrounded by weight pulling you down. Understand this, energy is contagious. If you're around people who complain all day, you're gonna start complaining. If you're around people who don't believe in themselves, you're gonna start doubting yourself. But if you surround yourself with people who hungry, people who disciplined, people who focused, you're gonna feel that energy too. You're gonna move different because you feeding off something real, something strong. That's why your circle matters. That's why your environment matters. Protecting your energy is really about protecting your future. A lot of people waste energy on things they can't control. They argue, they scroll, they chase validation, they worry about opinions that don't pay their bills. And in the end, they too tired to chase what's really theirs. That's how people lose years. They give their energy to distraction. Protecting your energy means keeping your focus. It means learning to say no, learning to step back, learning to put your peace above someone else's comfort. You don't owe your energy to everybody. Your energy is sacred. When you were protected, you start to notice how clear your mind gets. You stop overthinking. You stop second guessing. You start moving with more confidence because you ain't weighed down by other people's baggage. Protecting your energy makes space for clarity, and clarity makes space for success. Don't get it twisted though. Protecting your energy don't mean you isolate yourself from the world. It don't mean you're scared to deal with people. It means you know your value. It means you know what's worth your time and what's not. It means you choose wisely where you invest your spirit because you understand everything got a cost. Every conversation, every relationship, every environment, it either adds to you or subtracts from you. And once you see that, you start moving different. People gonna test your peace. Life gonna test your patience. But every time you protect your energy, you remind yourself you in control. You can't control the world, but you can control how you respond. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control whether or not you let them touch your spirit. That's where the power is. That's what keeps you grounded when the chaos comes. Look at it like this. Your energy is your currency. If you spend it recklessly, you're going to end up broke. But if you invest it wisely, you're going to build wealth in peace, in growth, in success. So be smart with it. Don't spend your energy explaining yourself to people who already made up their mind. Don't waste it chasing attention from people who don't care. Don't drain it fighting battles that ain't even yours. Put your energy where it matters, into your grind, your goals, your healing, your vision. At the end of the day, protecting your energy is protecting your life. You can't build nothing solid if your spirit is weak. You can't chase nothing real if you always drain. Guard your peace like it's gold, because it is. Guard your focus like it's treasure, because it is. Protect your energy at all costs and watch how far you can go when you're no longer letting the wrong people or the wrong situations hold you back. Energy protection is self-respect, it's self-love, it's discipline, and once you master it, you're unstoppable. Results over words. That's the principle. Too many people out here living in the, I'm about to stage, I'm about to start a business, I'm about to drop this project, I'm about to make these moves, but all you ever hear is the words, and words don't build nothing. Words don't pay bills. Words don't feed families. Results do. Results speak louder than any conversation, louder than any promise, louder than any plan. See, everybody got ideas. Everybody got dreams. Everybody got that talk. But what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't is execution. It's consistency. It's the ability to take those words and turn them into something that can't be denied. You can tell the world 1,000 times you're gonna do something, but until you show proof, until you put numbers on the board, it's just noise. That's why results matter. Results give you credibility. Results make people respect you, even if they don't like you. Results silence the doubters without you saying a word. When you produce, when you deliver, when you got something to show, there's nothing left for anybody to argue about. You don't have to convince nobody. You don't have to defend yourself. The results do the talking for you. The problem is people get addicted to talking about success instead of chasing it. Talking about the dream gives them a temporary high, like they already achieved something. But the high fades and they back at square one. Results don't fade. Results stick. You can post quotes all day. You can hype yourself up with big talk all night, but If you don't put in the hours, if you don't grind when it's uncomfortable, if you don't execute when nobody's watching, you're going to stay right where you are. Words might inspire people for a moment, but results inspire people forever. Think about it. You don't remember the people who just talked about making history. You remember the ones who actually made it. You remember the builders, the creators, the grinders, the visionaries who backed up their words with proof. Results turn your story into something real. And here's the truth. The more you talk, the less you do. Talking too much about your goals tricks your brain and feeling like you already accomplished them. That's why discipline means shutting up and showing up. It's about putting your head down, doing the work, and letting the finished product introduce itself. Results also protect you from wasting energy. When you stop talking about everything you plan to do, you free up time and focus to actually do it. You don't waste hours explaining yourself to people who don't believe. You don't waste breath trying to prove yourself. You just build, and when it's built, when it's ready, when it's undeniable, that's when you let the world see. See, people respect action. They respect hustle. They respect consistency. They respect when you show them something they didn't expect, something they can't deny. They don't respect empty talk. They don't respect broken promises. That's why you got to train yourself to fall in love with the grind, not the conversation. Fall in love with the process, not the praise. Every time you deliver results, you add weight to your name. You build trust. You build influence. You build a reputation that words alone could never create. And that reputation follows you. It opens doors. It creates opportunities. Because people know you, not just talking you about it. The beautiful thing about results is they speak in every language. They translate everywhere. You ain't got to explain your vision to the world when you're already living it. People see it. They feel it. They can't ignore it. That's the difference between noise and impact. Words can be ignored, but results force attention. So ask yourself, what's louder, the promises you've been making or the proof you've been showing? What's stronger, the excuses or the execution? What's more valuable, the likes you get for talking about your plans or the legacy you build by actually doing them? At the end of the day, results over words is about discipline, focus, and action. It's about proving yourself to yourself before you try to prove anything to the world. It's about replacing I will with I did. It's about shutting down the noise and letting your work speak. So stop wasting breath. Stop looking for validation through words. Stop trying to convince people who don't matter. Put your energy into the work. Put your time into execution. Put your spirit into building something real. And when the results come in, when the proof is in front of everybody, you won't have to say a word. Because results don't lie. Results don't need captions. Results don't need approval. Results speak louder than anything you could ever say. Every move you make gotta have strategy behind it. Too many people out here playing checkers in the world that's running like chess. They move off impulse, off emotions, off ego. But when you play like that, you're setting yourself up to lose. Strategy means you're thinking 5 steps ahead. Strategy means you're not just reacting, you're controlling the game. See, anybody can make a move, but not everybody can make a move that matters. A move that lasts, a move that changes your position. That's what separates the ones who talk about success from the ones who live it. They don't just move fast, they move smart. They study the board, they watch the players, they calculate the risk, and then they strike when it's time. You don't got to tell the world every step you're making. In fact, the less you say, the better. Strategy loves silence. You can't let everybody know your playbook, because the second they know, they start planning against you. When you move in strategy, you keep your intentions low-key until it's time for the results to show. You protect your vision, you protect your process, and you protect your energy. Just think about it like this. Life gonna test you. People gonna throw distractions your way. You're gonna deal with setbacks, fake love, envy, and doubt. But if you're moving with strategy, you don't let none of that knock you off course. You already plan for the obstacles. You already prepared for the hate. You already know how to adjust when things don't go as planned. That's the power of strategy. It gives you control when life tries to take it away. Most people lose because they move too quick. They chasing instant gratification. They want the fast win, the fast money, the fast validation. But fast ain't always forever. Strategy builds something solid, something sustainable. It might take longer, it might demand patience. But when it's done, it's built to last. That's why you can't let pressure push you into sloppy moves. Strategy requires discipline. It requires vision. It requires you to see the bigger picture, even when you don't got it yet. You got to ask yourself before every move, what's the outcome? What's the risk? What's the cost? Is this move pushing me forward, or is it just feeding my ego? Is this move building my foundation, or is it just making me look busy? That's how you separate smart moves from wasted motion. Every step got to serve a purpose. Don't confuse strategy with fear. Moving in strategy don't mean you're scared to take risks. It means you take calculated risks. You know what you're risking. You know what you're aiming for, and you got a plan if it don't go your way. That's different from just jumping out the window, hoping you fly. Strategy is what gives you wings, not just to jump. Another part of strategy is knowing when not to move. Sometimes the strongest play is patience. Sometimes it's letting the other side show their hand before you show yours. Sometimes it's waiting until the timing is perfect instead of rushing into something half ready. Strategy is about alignment, aligning your timing, your energy, your resources, and your vision. So when you hit heavy. People respect results, but they respect strategy too. When they see you not just winning, but winning smart, building smart, lasting long, they know it ain't luck. They know it ain't random. They know it's intentional. That's how legacies get built, not off random wins, but off strategic moves, stacked over time until the foundation is unshakable. Don't let emotions drive you into sloppy plays. Don't let ego trick you into proving points that don't matter. Don't let pressure push you into shortcuts that cost you later. Every move you make should line up with the bigger picture. Every decision should reflect the vision you're chasing. If it don't, it's a distraction, and distractions kill momentum. Moving in strategy means you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just making noise, you're making impact. You're not just playing the game, you're changing it. And that's the real difference. Anybody can make moves, but only the discipline, only the focus, only the strategic can make moves that last generations. So tighten up, stop moving wild, stop announcing every plan, stop letting emotions guide you. Think bigger, plan deeper, execute smarter. And when it's time, let the results reveal the strategy you've been sitting on. Because when you move in silence, when you move in patience, when you move in strategy, the world can't stop it. That's how you win. Respect the process. That's the part most people skip. Everybody wants the results. Everybody wants to shine. Everybody wants the recognition, but nobody wants to go through the grind that builds it. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the success without the struggle. But it don't work like that. Anything worth having is going to test you. Anything real is going to take time. And if you can't respect the process, you'll never last long enough to see the results. The process is where you learn. It's where you build your character, your discipline, your mindset. The process teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. It shows you who you really are when things ain't easy, when nothing's working, how you pictured it. See, anybody can be motivated when everything's going right, but it's in the process. When it's dark, when it's heavy, when it feels like nobody sees you, that's when you find out if you really built for it. Respecting the process means understanding that setbacks ain't failures, they lessons. Every loss is a step toward the win. Every mistake is part of the education. You can't shortcut that. You can't skip it. You rob yourself of the wisdom you're gonna need to hold on to what you're building. Because success without foundation collapses. Fame without substance fades. Money without discipline disappears. The process is what makes sure you're solid when the blessings come. The problem is, too many people want it overnight. They chasing quick wins, shortcuts, fast money. They think because they don't see results right away, it ain't working. But success don't come on your timing. It comes on life's timing. It comes when you're ready. And the process is what gets you ready. The process humbles you, sharpens you, strengthens you. It strips away the weaknesses, so only the real you remains. You gotta learn to love the grind, love the days when nobody claps, love the nights when you're tired but still pushing, love the silence before the noise. That's the process molding you into someone who can carry the weight of success without breaking. If you can't handle the small battles, you ain't ready for the big ones. If you can't be disciplined when nobody's watching, you ain't ready for the spotlight. The process is where you prove it to yourself before the world ever sees it. Respecting the process also means not comparing your journey to somebody else's. Everybody got a different timeline. Everybody got a different road. Just because somebody else blew up fast, don't mean you behind. Just because your grind is taking longer, don't mean it's not working. Some blessings take longer to cook because they're meant to last. Some journeys are heavier because they're meant to build leaders, not followers. Trust your lane, respect your pace.
There's beauty in the struggle if you pay attention.
Every time you fall and get back up, you're stronger. Every time you push through doubt, your confidence grows. Every time you sacrifice something now for something bigger later, you're proving to yourself you're serious. That's all process. And when you finally reach that place you've been grinding for, it hits different because you know what it took. You know the nights you almost quit, the times you almost broke, the weight you carried just to stand where you're standing. That's why the process matters. It gives the results value. Don't be in such a rush to get there that you forget why you started. Don't let impatience make you walk away right before the breakthrough. Don't disrespect the grind by expecting it to move at your pace. Trust it, embrace it, respect it, because everything you want is hidden in the process. The results are just the outcome, but the process, that's the real gift. So keep working when it's slow, keep pushing when it's heavy, keep building when nobody sees you. Respect every step, every lesson, every sacrifice, because one day, when the results show, when the world finally sees what you've been working on, it'll mean more than just success. It'll mean growth. It'll mean transformation. It'll mean you became the person you were meant to be. Respect the process. It's the only way you'll ever truly earn the results.